Hey y'all, it's Melissa at MessyMissy Creates. I'm going to work on some more altered paper clips with these like paper clip tassels, I call them. This is one I made for last Christmas, and it has a cute little shank button on it, and it has all these whatever ribbons you want to put on it, and it just slides on your journal like this, and this rests on the top of your page, and this of course sticks out the top of your journal or the side if you want it to. But anyway, these are some that I've made in the past. You've seen them before. I need to go back and tighten this one up. Apparently, I've done a couple videos on this. Actually, I think I've done 3 now. And apparently I did them 2 different ways in my first 2 videos. This way, I actually looped on each ribbon and then cinched them all together with like twine. I think I used this twine right here, and that's how I attach the button. This one, when you're dealing with wider ribbon, sometimes it's easier just to loop them and pull them all up and then cinch them together right here. This one, I just needed a third hand. I couldn't find my reverse tweezers, so I didn't get this one tight enough, so I need to fix that one. But anyway, you've seen these. So anyway, we're gonna make some more. I've already started one for my journal, and even though this is thick rickrack, I'm gonna try the loop method. I still can't, Brooke told me what that loop was called, and I still can't remember. So if you know what it is, then you can tell me in the comments. I am just folding it in half, putting it through the back. Now, normally I would have put my button, sorry, I'm not in frame. Normally I would have put my button in between these 2, but I'm doing something a little different with this one. I'm going to sew this button on, I think. That's my plan anyway. If not, I may have to disassemble it, but I wanted the colors of my journal in here, and I have this teal, and I have this kind of champagne color, and I have this kind of rust color, and golds, and, that sort of thing. And I found this little teal eyelash ribbon, so I'm going to see if I can get this to go on here too. They're a little fiddly, but they're not too bad once you get it going. And the eyelash ribbon probably is going to be the most fiddly because it's hard to tell where the ribbon is and where the eyelashes are. So that one might be, it might actually be working. I'm not sure. Let me try that again. I have you zoomed in. Maybe I need to tilt you like this because I keep going out of frame. I'm sorry. I have spent the day looking at or working in my Etsy shop so that I can get some of these listed, as well as some other things that I want to list. And let's see if I can do a better job of poking these through here, that loop. If not, I'm going to abandon the eyelash ribbon because this was not, I wanted to make some that I'm actually going to list. So, but I wanted to start with, well, no, we may have to abandon this one altogether or just tie it regularly. How about that? Let's just tie it in a knot. See if we can do that. And that would work too. If they're too hard to loop, then just get them on however you have to get them on. So I don't know if any of you have tried any of these. I've made several of them now. Now I want some green on here, but I want, let's see, here's the front. Not that I can really tell, but I want to squish these together as much as I can. And I wanted this button. Let's see, hold on, I have a piece of thread. I want this button around here, but I'm not sure that's going to work. So if not, I have a needle threaded already. with some black black embroidery. No, I'm sorry, dark brown embroidery floss. That's kind of what I wanted. It's a little shorter than I normally would do. That is because this button is different. Now, I can sew this button on or this button on. Here is my green I want it to use. So let me measure it. I'm doing them about 7 inches. Which is a pretty good length. But I do want this green in here because I have some sage green in my journal. And I also have some dark brown. So this is kind of like this is like a organza ribbon, and it's sort of in a yellow green color, but it's going to act as my sage. Now I got that in that loop, and I really wish I hadn't, but I did. But that's okay. Okay, it came out. So now what I'm going to do is I've already got my button threaded. I mean my needle threaded, and oops, I almost pulled it through. Now I did this long enough. I did this at like 10 inches because that way I have enough to tie it plus make it be part of the tassel. So I need to decide if I want this blue pin on here, this blue button, not pin, button, or I'm thinking this green. Although the outside of my journal is teal, I do have some of that sage green ribbon sticking out already. That button's kind of big. Let me see what this button does. And I already made sure that the needle would go through this button because the hole in this is very tiny. I had to go hunt for smaller needles. So let me get... Okay, this is where the reverse tweezers are going to come in handy. Actually, I probably, and I do have 2 pair. I want to scrunch these up together and almost even twist them. Maybe not, but that might work. But I'm going to do that together. So that holds all those ribbons together tight. And then I've never done this where I've sewn on a button. But really all I'm doing is using that as a tool to get the embroidery thread through that little... I don't even need the needle now, but I'm not going to take it off yet. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to take it off because I have the thread through the button. That's the important part. So with my reverse tweezers there, now I've got it facing back where I'm face down, and I'm going to tie this on. And the goal is to get it as close to the base of the ribbons as you can. So I did not do that successfully. But I will in just a minute. I'm going to pull them all up again. I'm going to cinch them together. These were kind of thick ribbons to loop on the button. I mean, on the paper clip. It might have been better if they had been... if they had just been looped, like one big loop. I'll show you that in a minute. Because see how they come down the sides of the thing, the paper clip? So I want to hold, I'm holding these, but I'm wanting to pull up these ribbons as much as I can and tie, this eyelash ribbon's giving me fits, and then tie them right at the base of... you want your strings even. Mine are not even right now. Okay. You want to tie this right at the base where the paper clip, where the ribbons are attached to the paper clip. Okay, I think I've got that. Let me get... I've got to slide it up just a hair. Let me find my... I knew this one was going to be fiddly because of the way I did it. We're going to do it a different way next. Or maybe not, but it won't be as fiddly because it's not quite as thick as this one. Okay, so this is where I've got the button where I want it. I've got the tassels where I want it. This is where you need a third person or a pair of reverse tweezers to hold that knot in place so that it's tight, right? And then that's what I didn't have when I was making them before. And that's why they got loose. So I'm hoping this works. In theory, it works. I'm hoping that in reality, it works as well. So as I'm tightening it, I slip the reverse tweezers out. So here we have, and then those, that twine becomes part of the tassel. So I have all the colors in my journal. Now you can trim this however you want. I think I got the button down too low, but I don't want to move it because it will loosen the, it'll loosen the grip on it. But when you put it on a page like this, and you put the button in front, it stays up. And then you have all this beautiful tassel. Okay, so there's that one. Let's go ahead and leave that on this page. And then I'll set it in front of me. Now that one's for my journal. So, oh, I was going to put this one on there. Darn. It's too late to add it, but I was going to put that one on there. Okay, I might go back and redo that one later, but that's okay. Oh, this one was supposed to go on there too. Okay. Well, we just messed that one all up. So, okay, so I have a needle, and let me put this needle up because I don't think I'm going to need it anymore. And I don't want to end up with it in my foot. And I've got a needle threader. But I've already cut. Here's my thing of, these are gold paper clips. They are, you want to do it, you want to tie them at the top end, not this double end. And here I've already cut ribbons. I've made some fall ones. And some other, like a little frog and two little frogs, and then a sunflower and a pumpkin and a fall leaf. So I've already cut the lengths of ribbon, everything we need, just to save some time so I can get several of them made. And then these are listed in my, if you look at my description, you'll see that these are listed. They are 1 inch wide, almost 1 inch wide. And they are 2 inches long. So they're not the 4-inch jumbo ones. They're kind of short and squatty, and I like this size because it doesn't take up too much space on your journal page. So let's start with one of these cute little frogs. This one I really wasn't sure. We have eyelash ribbon everywhere. This one turned out kind of cute. I think it'll turn out kind of cute. It was a different color green. This one like a green and blue with blue eyes frog. And then this one was kind of a chartreuse color, which I didn't really have in ribbon, but I did have it in this organza ribbon. So, and then I added this. She's got little pink features. So I added some pink. And then this light green and this pink glittery, this pink rickrack. There's a lot of pink on here and a little bit of green. I did find some chartreuse embroidery floss that match, so that'll be what we tie on the button with. And let's get out. I put these away too soon. Oh no, I have one right here. So these we're not going to tie them. We're not going to tie them individually. We're going to see if it works out better if we just loop them. And I've got, this was the closest green I could find, and it's just a small ribbon, so I don't think it'll make a huge difference. And then this pink is a thin ribbon. Let's put that one over on this side. It doesn't matter in which order you do them, but they do kind of stay next to each other. The ones that you put next to each other. This is some really floppy yarn that I have. and it's pink, and I thought it might be fun to add. It's almost like a chenille yarn. I don't know that it's going to stand up, but maybe the other ribbon will encourage it to stand up. So, okay, we have all the ribbon, and all I've done is double them over, and like folded, I've got them all together, and then we're going to put them, one end of all of them through the paper clip, just like that. And then we're going to put them, we're going to make them as even as we can. Now again, you can trim them. I cut my lengths to about 7 inches. Okay, so we have, I don't have a hold of that one. Let's see. Let me get a hold of this pink chenille. But I thought this might be a cute combination for this little frog that we're doing. And this one may have worked fine with doing it the method that I just did this one. But I wanted to show you both ways. So what I need is, I need this to stay put. So I need to get them all as gathered as I can, right ahead of the ribbon. I mean, at the top of the safety pin, no, paper clip. Let's get that one in there too. Okay, so I want them like that. And then now I'm going to thread my my embroidery floss through my shank button. This is a shank button. It has the loop on the back. I think you can see that. And it's got a big enough hole that I don't need a needle to get that in there. So let's pull that through. Hope it didn't pull all the threads through though. Let's see, hold on. Let's back that up and do it again. There we go. I think we got all of them this time. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put the button on the front like this. Well, let's get them centered a little bit more. This is going to be a bigger button, so it's going to be really cute. I think this little frog's going to be so cute. And yes, this wouldn't be good for spring, but I had the frogs and I didn't make them for the summertime, so I thought I would go ahead and do them now. You know, somebody may, I mean, frogs can be fall too. This kind of spring green and pink color kind of lend itself to spring, but and I'm doing that very carefully. Okay, so at some point I want to let this go, and I want to cinch up at as close to the bottom of the ribbon as I can, right? So I'm pulling the ribbon. I have the twine in my one hand and I have the ribbon in my other, and I'm tightening them up. I'm going to tighten it up right there at the base. That's where you want it. Let's see. See how it's right at the base where the ribbon meets the paper clip? So that's tight, but I want to keep it tight. Well, it helps if you actually hit it. Okay, I want to keep it tight. So I'm using my reverse tweezers right here to keep that from loosening up while I make the second knot, the second part of the knot. So here we go. Those are not even, but that's okay. We had a stray fiber. Okay, and I'm going to slip that out at the same time as I'm tightening that. So then we just let these strings, the embroidery floss, become part of the tassel. So like I need to trim this little section right here. And you can trim them. These may come apart. I see that already. That chenille is wanting to come apart, but I think this one turned out super cute. So let's see what it looks like on a piece of paper. And I've got some fall, well, this one I did backwards. well, I did it the right way. I did the first one backwards, which I'm going to take that apart and redo it because I forgot to add some ribbon to it. So it's all good. This one, once it gets in your journal, it'll stand up like this. And isn't it cute? And the little, it's like a little girl frog with her little eyelashes. Aren't they cute? So, okay, let's do, this is just a little green frog with the blue. We'll do him in a minute if we have a chance, if we have time. I want to do some fall stuff. Now, this one, and I was just using, these are the envelopes. They're listed in my Amazon description along with the paper clips. And then I'm going to list where I got like 12 different colors of this organza ribbon. So it was nice to have a variety of colors. Now some of my ribbon I buy at like Hobby Lobby and whatever. But these are the little envelope, the little storage pouches that I store my die cuts and my clip art and stuff in. I have this and a bigger one that I store my dies and my stamps in. So, but I thought those would make good project storage pockets or whatever. Now this is a piece of velvet ribbon. I've never used that before on this. So I'm going to kind of lay these out just sort of the way I want them. And then I have this piece right here. Oop, it wants to fold because it was folded in the envelope. And then, oop, I might as well leave that open, huh? Okay, so we want to do it this way. So I'm going to loop. Just going to kind of keep them flat so they'll loop correctly. And again, you want them on this top side of the paper clip, not the bottom. That velvet ribbon is kind of curly. So I don't know how well it's going to play with the tassel, but we are going to find out. And then I've got them about even, I think. Even-ish. Like that. Yeah, see, those would have been way too thick to tie onto the tassel. I mean, to tie onto the paper clip. Boy, I'm at a loss for words today. I am struggling. Did I not have... I must not have already had my... I have my button. It's a fall leaf. I need maybe a dark brown, or let's do a kind of a goldish yellow. That might work because we don't have a gold yellow in here. I didn't already get the embroidery floss out for this one. Surprise, surprise. I thought I had everything I needed. Okay, so these I'm cutting at 10 inches. Because I want to be able to, well, one, I want to be able to trim off an end like that. That's kind of frayed. But also because by the time you tie it, and then you want it to be as long as your other threads and the other threads in the tassel, you want it to be as long as they are. So I just added a couple inches to it. Okay, so I'm gonna reclip that and thread this. This end looks easier to thread. Let's see. I keep sitting back. I'm having some back and neck issues, and I feel like I'm leaning forward. I think because I'm zoomed in so much. But I was trying to let you be able to see what I'm doing. So I feel like I'm leaning forward. And it's bothering my back and neck a little bit. But I want you to be able to see. So, oh, I lost the other thread. There we go. All right. So We want this face down. We want the button face down. And we want to be able to tie, there we go. Want to be able to tie that to the front. And I see we have some escapees. But let's get this first tie done. And then that will stop the escapees. The ribbons trying to escape from the tweezers. So how many of you have tried these? I mean, I've made several of them now. Now I'm going to pull that out. And I'm going to twist and make sure my button is on the front, which it's not. I want to make sure that, there we go. Now it's on the front. Nope, it still wants to be to the side. Let's see. Let's get it tight and then we'll flip it over and see what the problem is. Okay. This one is a hot mess. That did not work. All right. That velvet proved harder to... I apparently did not get around all of the ribbons. I only got around that rickrack with my thread. I don't know how I did that because I had them all lined up. But we're going to try again. And then I have a cute little pumpkin. And I'm going to do some more fall stuff. I have some actual fall ribbon. I mean, these are fall color ribbon. But I have some actual fall ribbon that I'm going to... Let me get this to where the velvet is in the front. There we go. All right, so we got that on. We get this through here. And hold on to that. That's about even. This might have been easier to loop. Try it both ways and see what you find easier. Because I'm not sure. I just thought with this one, the velvet ribbon was going to be harder to knot than, I mean, obviously the thinner the ribbon, the neater the knot. And so, all right, we have this. And let me see if I can pinch it from the sides so that nobody escapes this time. Well, we're still trying to have escapees. Okay. Yeah, see, we're still having escapees, aren't we? Well, let's get this on. We want this on the front, like that. Then we want to flip it over. Actually, I'm going to let this... Ooh, I almost pulled it out. I'm going to lay this down flat with it kind of even on both sides. And then I'm going to flip this down on top of it. And then I'm going to tie this around as close to the paper clip as I can. They don't all go well. They don't all go smoothly. Nothing in crafting ever does, right? Okay, now I've got them tight. I think I have them all included. I'm going to let go with the tweezers. And then I'm going to pull this tight again. I don't have enough ribbon on this side. So let me see if I can scooch that up a little bit and pull some more this way. Okay, that should be enough. And we want that button on the front, but we'll fix it. It'll be all right. All right, so that's tight. Tight enough. Well, not really. I let go of it. We want the ribbon to, we want the button to sit like this. So that's how we want it face down. Okay, so now I'm going to cinch it as tight as I can. And I want all the ribbon pulled up as far as it will go, right? You want to hold on to the paper clip and pull all the ribbon up. Then you want this tight right here. So let me get my tweezers in action here. And then I'm going to make a knot. The tweezers are helping. They're acting like a third finger or a third hand. Okay, and then this goes up and becomes part of the tassel. So here we go. And this one is a hair loose, but what I thought about doing, I thought about doing this with a couple of them, shooting some Fabri-Tac just to hold them in place. But that one turned out kind of cute, huh? I like the velvet. It definitely says fall, and this is kind of some brownish wine color organza, and this is some like rusty orange rickrack, and this is just a gold orange. And then we have the yellow of the embroidery floss. So that one turned out cute. Let's see how it looks on a piece of paper. Looks cute. Very cute. And that'll eventually straighten itself out. It's just where it came off the, where it was wound. Okay, so what do we do next? Let's do our pumpkin next. Now, like I said, I have, I think tomorrow and the next day, I have some actual fall and Halloween. Let's do this one. Even though we have this one thick ribbon, we have that rickrack, the brown rickrack's kind of thin. Let's do, nope, not that side. Remember, do it at the top, not the bottom. Let's tie this one on. Hold on. Let's loop it on. Like this. And pull that as tight as you can to make that knot as small as you can. You want it to take up as little real estate as it possibly can on the paper clip. Because otherwise you end up, if you get too many thick ribbons, they go all the way down this side and this side. And then they don't want to sit well on your... Okay, so now I want the button on... Let me see if I can get this on... I'll probably do it upside down. Yeah, I think I did. Okay. So if we start upside down and we come around here, then you end up right side up. Nope. Okay, I can't do that with this one because this one is on... Well, can I though? Yep, it's on upside down. Okay, so I just need to put it upside down, right side up. The opposite of what I just did. So I need it to be this way. Well, shoot, now I don't remember which way I needed it. So we're going to have to try it again. And if you do this before you put your first piece of ribbon on, sometimes it's easier. Okay, here we go. Now it will sit straight. Okay, so we're going to have that button sitting there. And then we're going to loop this on this side of the button. It'll make the button quit moving. So here we go, looping. I'm starting with my two biggest pieces of ribbon first. And you just, it's a lark's, is it a lark's head? Lark's head knot? Lark's something or another? Okay. So there. Now your button's not gonna flop around. You got your bigger ribbons here. We're gonna add just to each side of this. We're gonna add some of these smaller ones. This way, if you can make it work, in my opinion, is easier. If you can get it to work. If you're not using too thick a ribbon. So this little piece of orange rickrack right here, I'll put, really like to put that right here. I probably should have put I'm going to see if I can put it right. I'm going to slide these down this thing so I can put this one right here. Why, I don't know. Because I can. I just wanted to shake it up a little bit. Okay, so that was Tiny Rick Rack, so that worked out really nicely. Okay, that's staying, that's staying. Oh, I have this organza. So we'll do it on this side of the button. You can put them wherever you want. You just play around with them to your heart's content. I'm just trying to mix up the colors a little bit so that when they are, you know, when you have your tassel, you have your variety of colors. You don't just have the like ones sitting right on top of each other. Or the light colors, the similar colors. Okay, that organza ribbon knots on very nicely. It makes a small footprint. Okay, I'm going to have to float that through the back because there we go. Alright, so now we just have a mess. They're all attached. And all we're going to do is try to cinch them up all the way up as far as we can. Like that. And then I'm going to take my, not my scissors, take my tweezers and hold them in place long enough. So this one, you don't have to thread the button. You just, well, honestly, you just put the twine down. And you put this down. I know, I just let go of all that. It's okay. I want the twine behind the button, if that makes sense. If you can get it behind the top part of the button, and then once you get your first knot, you'll be able to cinch it up. And then we're going to use the tweezers to hold that in place. And I love using this, like, orange and white and red and white and whatever color twine, because it gives extra interest to the and I'm pulling the ribbon against the paper clip to make sure it's good and tight. I want this one to come up further, that orange polka dot, because it's thicker. I want that one to make sure it's tight, and we've got it super tight. And now I'm going to put my reverse tweezers right there, and then I'm going to make my knot. The reverse tweezers make such a difference, and I think I have those listed in my Amazon. Your brain has to work a little differently than it does, because usually tweezers, when you squeeze them, they close. These are reverse tweezers. When you squeeze them, they are open, but they'll hold something together for you while you wait for glue to dry, or in this case, while you make a knot. So look how cute this one turned out. And I love the orange and white twine in there. Now, you can give it a haircut. You can trim it to here, or however tall you want it on your book. And there's that one. So, aside from mine being, well, see, there. I didn't do it backwards. I just forgot some ribbon, actually. I don't know if I really want to redo that one or not for that ribbon. Do we have time for one more? I have sunflower, and I have this leaf. This one doesn't have as many ribbons on it. I have my twine cut. How far are we into this? Okay, so we do have one thick ribbon and one thick. I think we're going to give this one a whirl. We're going to try the looping method, because I think that's the easier if you can do it. Let me put this on first, because I will do it the wrong way. Oop. A couple times before I do it the right way. So let's see. Okay, actually, that worked out perfectly. That's exactly where we want it. So we want this one to loop on one side. And so you can let go of that button. It's not going anywhere. And you can loop that. That, I figured, this is 1/2 inch satin, like chiffon ribbon or whatever. And it is, it makes a really good small footprint. See what I mean? It doesn't take up much room on the paper clip. Why am I struggling saying paper clip today? Let me see if I can trim some of that off. Okay. And then this is going to take up some space. But we're wanting to put it on the other side of the button. And loop it around. Because that's it. This is 1/2 inch rickrack. Or what do they call it? 10 centimeters or something. The 5 centimeter rickrack is, or millimeter, not 5 centimeter. I have some, I don't have any handy. It's very tiny, and it's great to use for these. Okay, so we have these two right here. So now we want to add this one. And this is our chiffon, or our organza. I called the other one chiffon too, didn't I? This is our organza ribbon. I have more of this coming, I think. And then I have some actual Halloween ribbon and buttons coming. I don't have any more fall buttons coming yet. But, uh-oh. Hold on. We flip-flopped. Here we go. This is the front. Okay, and so I'm going to take this one and I'm going to do it over on this right side. So we have that. I love this shiny glittery ribbon. And it's real thin, so it's real easy to work with. It just adds, I love adding the different sizes and textures of ribbon. And I think it gives it a fun, I don't know. I think it's just fun. So, we have that. And then we're going to lay this down like this. On here, we're going to lay that down. And we're going to try to get this centered. Can you see? I want the over the button. See how I'm getting it over the button? In between the button and the ribbon. And this is going to be a little more difficult because of that rickrack is pretty thick. So I didn't even bother with the tweezers trying to hold the ribbon together. I'm going to let this cinch up as close to the paper clip as I can. And then it pulls them all together. But see why you don't want it, see why you want it behind the ribbon? I mean behind the button. Because you don't want to catch the button in that knot or your ribbon won't be tight. Okay, so let me get this good and tight again. And it's all floppy around everywhere. And then I'm going to put that there so I don't loosen so the knot doesn't loosen. And then we tie this. And as we tie it tight, we just kind of slide that out. And there we go. That's part of the ribbon. Now, I think we got too much. You can see, I think we put too much on the left side of this and not enough on the right. Maybe we did. Let's see. Because this champagne colored should be on the right. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so I have been fiddling with Etsy so that I can actually sell some of these because some of you have expressed an interest in purchasing some of the things that I make. Now, I am going to be offering these by themselves. I had a faux pas with my shipping today, so I had to get it straightened out. It's been a long time since I've had anything that shipped on Etsy that I've sold. And so I had to kind of get that straightened out because it was wanting to charge like $8 to ship one of these little things. I'm like, there's no way that's possible. So I fixed it. Now, I will tell you that I will list them individually. Like this one, I could list a set of 3, but I don't know if somebody's going to want 3 fall ones. So if I make a fall, Christmas, and winter, or fall, Halloween, and Christmas, or something like that, I might list them in pairs of 3s. Because honestly, for like 3 of them, the shipping's not going to be much more than 1. They don't weigh that much. It's just, that's what the shipping's base rate is. So, but see, like the frog, I mean, you might not want a frog in a fall one, or so that one I'll probably list on its own. She's so cute. Or I might list her with the other frog. Or I do combine shipping. So, like if you buy one thing, you have that shipping, and then to add the second thing, it only goes up like 20 or 50 cents or something like that. Or I will figure out what the actual shipping is and then credit you back the money. That's what called combined shipping is. So if you are interested in something that I have on my Etsy shop, obviously the digitals, there's no shipping, you just print. But if I do the, if I have more than one thing on my shop that you're interested in, then I may wait on him because I don't think I have enough. I want one other thread, so I may wait on this little froggy until I think tomorrow or something. I think I have something else coming tomorrow. But although that is cute by itself, and I'm running out of time, but if I have more than one thing that you're interested in, just message me through Etsy and say, do you combine ship? Or I want to combine ship on these items. And then you, what you would do is you would purchase the items and then I refund you the overage of the shipping. So that's how that generally works. But honestly, I don't think that's going to be an issue because I think it's going to be the same. Let's see. How do we want you on here? We want you on this way, I think. Because you go all the way around and sit right there. Isn't that cute? He's so cute. Now, I could have done 2 of these. Wait a minute. I have a blue. I did organize my ribbon. Sort of. Now, I've tossed some things on here, you know, in addition. No, I have blue rickrack, and I have, this is too dark of a blue. I was thinking this was a lighter blue, but I had a lighter blue rickrack, but that's really wide. And I thought I had, that's the blue that I used. I have pink polka dot, blue polka dot, red polka dot, orange polka dot, but not the light blue polka dot. Okay. I do, however, have light blue rickrack. That might work. That might work better than this blue guy right here. But anyway, let's get this one on and see how we're looking. So, anyway, that's how it's going to work. Now, eventually, I'm also going to, I want to make some of my pockets and add those. I want to do maybe some journaling spots. So maybe like a paper clip, a pocket, and a journaling spot that are all like one theme, or kind of color coordinated or something like that, like or all fall or all Christmas, or you know, with fall and Christmas coming up, is, you know, obviously it's an easy time of the year to start something like that. because otherwise you don't know what somebody's journal theme is unless they tell you. I don't want to get too deep into the custom orders. I used to do that, and that really is hard to do. There's a lot of back and forth. I'm not saying I won't ever do it. I'm just saying I'm going to be a little reluctant to do it. So let me put this one on this side. This matches his little cheeks perfectly. And come on through. So, tell me what you think. What else would you like to see me sell? Now, eventually, yes, I do want to graduate into journals, but I need to start off small. So, let's start off small. And what they will come in is like, they'll be wrapped up in a tissue or something of that nature, or bubble wrap or something, because I don't want them to break. And then they'll be in a little bubble envelope, just like this. And so nothing too fancy to begin with. I already have those. And so I want to use what I have. I also may send you in a repurposed Amazon packaging envelope or something like that. So we're all about in this community, you know, reuse, recycle, upcycle, whatever, repurpose, reuse. So I think that that is a definite option too. So in which case I would cover it with something, obviously, so they don't send it to the wrong place. I'm not sure if I want to add something else. I don't have I did not get out the embroidery floss for this one. So what color would we want to use? Do we have time? Sure. Let's see. I don't have a lot of good greens in this one, although that's not bad. Let me see about, oh, and it could be blue. We could find like a sky blue or this, like this blue. That might work. That would match his eyes. I was looking for like this chartreuse color, this kind of goldish green, like right here. Something like that, maybe. What do we think? I think that might work. Let's try it. So I need about, not quite 10 inches, but more than 7. Because this is getting tied around all of that. So we want to put it between the button and the ribbon. You want to get it kind of even. And oh mercy, they are spreading out all over the place. I did not clip those together. That's all right. We're going to cinch them up in just a second. And then I want to see what it looks like, because now I'm holding that tight and I'm pulling the ribbon against the paper clip, because I want all of this up as far as it will go, and I want the thread as low as it will go. And then I just pulled it right back up out of my hands again. There we go. See, this rickrack is kind of hard to loop. It doesn't like to loop very well. Let's see what that looks like on the front before we go any further. It looks kind of cute. So let's do it. Let's do it. So then we have a girl and a boy frog. Maybe we'll do them as a set. Or not. Again, it's not, I'm more inclined to list them individually. And then you just, will adjust the shipping, however. is not going to charge you double for the shipping. It might look like it on your end to begin with, but I will refund that. It's very easy to do. I used to do it all the time. All right, he's kind of cute, huh? So let's put him next to Mrs. Girl Frog. And these are the ones, we made quite a few today, didn't we? So what do we think? Which one do you like? Is there anyone that wants to speak for one of them now? Not this one. This one's for my journal. And I'm going to redo it. Or not. I may just leave it just like that. I left out a ribbon or two. But these will go up. These will get listed, as well as some of the other ones that I've already made. For example, like the sunflower with the pencils and the black and white gingham. That one will go up. I have this one. This one's springy, but I want to, the button's a little floppy, but I might give her a little coat of Fabri-Tac. And then I've got the banana, and then this came out of my journal, but I'm going to make some more of these right here. So tell me what you like better, which one's your favorite. And I have another sunflower that I'm going to do now that I have brown rickrack and yellow rickrack. I'm going to do the brown and yellow. So I'm just waiting. I do have yellow organza. I'm waiting on some brown organza. So I think that one will be done after that. So anyway, let me know what you think. And I will get some of these listed. I'm not going to guarantee these are going to be listed by the time this airs, because I might publish this tonight. But I will be working on it tomorrow, and then I have a procedure on Tuesday, and I'm going to be out of pocket Tuesday. So anyway, I'm trying to get as much done as I can prior to that. So y'all have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Drop me a comment. Let me know which is your favorite. And yeah, I'd love to hear from you. So y'all have a wonderful rest of your day, and thank you for spending your time with me. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Y'all have a great day. Bye.